If you are considering getting a tattoo or contemplating adding to the collection that you already have, well, you might want to watch this video. That's right. Because there's probably some things you're not thinking about. Yeah, I've made a video about tattoos before. It was pretty popular. So I figured I'll make a different one, a little bit different. Now see, I am going on my 40th year of this tattoo. Now I have 4. Got one here, and one on each leg on my calf muscles. Yeah, this one I got in 1987. As you can see, it's just an eagle, a simple outline. I was too poor to go back and get color. I think this cost me $60. Don't remember where I got it. Wickliffe, Ohio. Yeah, that's where I got that one. This one, that's all gray and blotchy, I got in Denver in 1997. This one is 30 years old. So as you can see, it ain't as pretty as it was when I first got it. The green ink, a little bit of green ink left in there. But for the rest of it, it's just a black blob. Because that's what tattoos turn into over several decades. Now, if you're 20, 25, 30 years old, you want a tattoo. You're not worried about the future. Let me tell you something. The future is going to be here. It's going to crawl up on you before you know it. And then what you'll be stuck with is a bunch of black blobs and uncolorful tattoos. Because you're not going to go into a tattoo artist every 2 years to get it touched up. People just don't do that. Things change in our life where tattoos may or may not fit in. Now, tattoos used to be, you'd only see them on sailors and convicts. You go to prison, yeah, you join a prison gang, well, you're going to get your tattoos, and, that tells people, hey, he's in that gang. Don't mess with him. Now, everybody gets tattoos. Hell, there's grandmas going to get tattoos. It is the latest fad, and it has been a fad for quite a while. Now, when I got this one back in '87, not many people were getting tattoos. It was just starting to take off. In fact, I think the tattoo parlor, I don't even think he opened up until 5 p.m. Now, one decision I did make when I was younger was I was not going to get a tattoo that you could see if I wore short sleeve shirts. Now, this one hangs a little low, but most short sleeve shirts will cover it. Okay, I didn't want any exposed tattoos. Later, I kind of changed my mind on that when I got them on my legs, and when I wear shorts in the summer, well, then you can see them. But I chose tattoos that weren't affiliated with any certain political agenda or any kind of a situation. I got animals, okay? A bald eagle. United States of America is what that represents, maybe. And then some wolves. One's howling and one's looking. I used to tell people, that's me drunk and that's me sober. Well, I don't drink anymore, so I can't tell people that. Nobody really asks me about them anymore. They used to, but everybody and their brother has a tattoo now. Now, I am not against tattoos, but if I could go back to 1987, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have gotten any tattoos at all. I don't really regret them. I just don't see a need for them. They haven't helped my life in any way, shape, or form. There's nothing that I've tried to do in life that required me to have a tattoo. On the other hand, there's many things in life where if you have tattoos, you may miss out on that opportunity. Jobs are one of them. Now, location, location, location. That's everything. Now, I don't know about you, but if, say I go to the hospital or a doctor's office and I'm having a checkup, and they come in there and they are covered from wrist, to elbow with a sleeve of tattoos. Now this person might be one of the smartest people in the world, but to me, it kind of degrades the knowledge they may have. I don't know why. It's maybe I'm from the old school. I just feel they made poor decisions. Maybe they made these decisions before they went to medical school or they went to nursing school. They just don't look good in certain professions. A lot of people just don't put a lot of thought into the future when they get tattoos. Now I'll tell you this, you could be the best person in the world, but if I am in line in a convenience store, if I'm in line waiting to pay for something, and I see a guy coming towards the front door, covered in face tattoos, I'm keeping an eye on that dude, okay? Because I think if you make the decision to get face tattoos, you're not capable of making smart decisions. Why would you do that? To me, that shouts a person who has given up, who doesn't care about anything, and it's somebody I'm going to keep an eye on. Now, they could come in with tattoos all over their arms. I'm going to briefly look at them, and, you know, that's probably going to be about it, because we are so used to seeing that. All walks of life get tattoos. It doesn't make you a bad person, but bad people do have tattoos. That is something you have to remember. People in prison, there's hardly anybody in prison that doesn't have a tattoo. There may be some, but I guarantee you, if they've been in there any length of time, they are coming out covered. Kind of looks like this one. This looks like a jailhouse tat, just a black outline. And you can tell stories from some of the, you know, you can read where this person has been in life just by looking at his tattoos. But there's other places and other situations you need to think about as well. Now, I really want you to listen to this one. Now, I seen a picture. It's probably been 5-10 years. I seen a picture, and he was a professional baseball player. Let's call him Jose because, well, there's a lot of Jose's in professional baseball. So we're going to call him Jose. Jose lost his grandparents a couple years prior, and he wanted to take a photograph of his grandma and his grandpa, and he wanted to go to the best tattoo artist he could find. And, well, he found one. He takes in the photo. He takes it into this tattoo artist, and, oh, yeah, we can do this. We can do this. He wants it right here on his chest, covering his heart because, well, his grandparents meant a lot to him. He wants it right here. Grandpa, grandma, right there on his, covering up his heart because they were everything to him. Tattoo artist gets him all prepared, shaves a little bit of hair Jose has on his chest. Yeah, he's looking at the picture, and he puts the imprint thing on there, and then he's got the picture set up on a little mini easel there, and he gets the needle out and he goes to town. 3 hours go by. Finally, tattoo artist says, all right. Hands him a mirror and he looks. He's like, he's got a tear shedding down his face. Man, his grandparents are still alive next to his heart. He is enjoying life. That is a wonderful tattoo, he tells the tattoo artist. Thank you. Thank you very much. It'll be $4,000. Jose's got the money. He's a Major League Baseball player. Well, Jose's still a young guy. He's 20 years old, 21, give or take. And he's a single guy, right? The ladies don't mind Jose. He's not a bad-looking fellow. So, Jose, you know, he's got money. He's driving a Lamborghini, and, well, he meets this girl. Yeah, he likes her. They go on a bunch of dates, and things are starting to get serious. Yeah. This is the scenario that when I seen the picture of his tattoo, this is the reel that played in my head. I just wanted you to know that. So they go on lots of dates, and man, it's getting heated up. Well, he goes over to his new girlfriend's house, and she dims the lights and lights a few candles. Yeah, Jose's thinking. This could be the night, the lucky night. Yep. They're kissing on each other. I don't have to play it all out for you guys. You know how people do when, well, they're doing kissy smooching and sitting on the couch and, well, them kind of feelings is going. She says, Jose, could you take off your shirt, baby? Jose's like, he kind of stands up and grabs his shirt and rips it off. She's looking at him. She's going, oh, who's that? Oh, that's my grandparents. That's my grandma and that's my grandpa. Grandpa's sitting there going, looking like he's ready to give some grandfatherly advice. He's just going to jump off that chest and say, don't put tattoos of me on your chest, Jose. Grandma's sitting there with a big smile. Looks like she's fixing to peel off his chest, go in the kitchen, bake a big old batch of cookies. He sits down next to her and he's cozying up to her, and his girlfriend says, she done lost the mood. Okay, the mood's gone because she wanted to be with Jose. She didn't want to force him with Jose's grandparents, but that's what's happening. So you see, where and who and what tattoos you get, well, they make a big difference. Do you want a couple of old people for the rest of your life on your chest? And what do? You can't get them covered. You're going to cover up grandma and grandpa. They're dead. That would be hard on their memory. How are you going to get rid of them? And explain that to everyone else in the family that knows you got grandma and grandpa on your chest. You can't. What are you going to do? Put 2 coffin tattoos over top of them? You can't do that. So you're stuck with grandma and grandpa till the day you die. And any woman, you're going to have to wear a shirt during loving. Any kind of loving for the rest of your life. You're going to have to tell them you got some rare skin disease that you can't expose your chest to light. And you're going to find a dumb one that'll believe it. You're just going to have to do something like that. Okay? So that's something you have to think about. Location. Man, take it from an old man. Don't get face tattoos. Don't get neck tattoos. Get tattoos. I don't care how many tattoos you get. Get all you want. Make sure you can cover them up at least with a long sleeve shirt. Okay? And when you do get them, take care of what they are. You don't want to write stuff on you, bitch, things like that. You don't need words. And I would advise against getting people's portraits, because the truth is 95% of tattoo artists do a horrible job when they do a portrait. It's spooky looking. There's something creepy about somebody's portrait. You might have loved this person, but do something in a different way. Don't put their image on your body. I've just really never seen one that was good. And I can't see the point in it. I don't want to die and know that there's somebody on this earth walking around another 100 years with my mug. Hey, subscribe. Yeah. I don't want that. Do you want somebody to wear you? I don't want nobody wearing me. I wish, my advice, if it was up to me, I think this should be the law that nobody under 30 is allowed to get a tattoo. That will give them plenty of time to really think about it. Because when you get them when you're young, most times you haven't chose a career yet. This could decide your career path. Okay? If I want to be an airline pilot, and I'm sure they have them today, I've seen tattoos on just about every profession, but nobody really wants an airline pilot with sleeves and a tattoo of the devil on one arm. Nobody wants to see that. You want to look professional. I know I'm probably talking to deaf ears today, but it matters. And if you're in any kind of a service industry where you're being presented out to the public, you need to look professional. Okay? Now, if you're a convict and you're always going to be on parole and you're not going to amount to nothing, hey, get all you want. It doesn't matter. But people change, okay? Who you are at 20, you may be, and you probably will be, a totally different kind of person by age 60 like me. Now, I don't regret mine, but I will tell you, especially the ones on my legs, my calf muscles used to be twice the size that they are now because I used to walk a lot. I was on my feet for my job all day. My calf muscles were like bricks. Well, they're not anymore. So my tattoos have shrunk along with being faded. And the culture today, everybody's gaining weight. So if you are a 110-pound woman at 20 years old and you get a tattoo right here, okay, and it looks all great, you know, maybe got a butterfly right there or a little parakeet. You can get you a little parakeet right there. You're 20 years old, you're 110 pounds, you're petite. Well, life happens, you start eating the American diet, and guess what? By the time you're 30, you're 312 pounds, and that butterfly looks like it's split in half. One half went off to China, and the other half, who knows where it went. That's what happens. Skin stretches. You get bumps on your skin. I got bumps on my arms, you know. You could get age spots. There's all kinds of skin problems that you're going to develop when you get older. There's nothing you can do about it. You're also going to, you know, I just lost over 100 pounds. Thank God it really wasn't a lot in my arms. You know, personally, I don't really care what mine look like. I don't really care what people think. You know, if you're the same way, you probably don't either. But it's, you know, I would look better without them. I will just say that. So, guys, if you enjoyed the video, man, leave me a like and subscribe. I will put a link to the other tattoos called Tattoo Epidemic. I don't know, it was a pretty big video where I talk more about it. I might have repeated some of the things I said in this, but it was a subject people are interested in. Now, I ain't saying don't get a tattoo. I'm just saying think about where it's going, what it is, and what your direction in life will be. Now, there's pastors of churches covered in tattoos. They've changed their ways, but they just still got their tattoos, you know. It doesn't make the person, you know, any worse for having a tattoo. It doesn't make you bad if you don't have tattoos. There's really no purpose to them. It's just body art. And I'm not, you know, I would never get mine removed. I'm not going through that. But I think probably in the future they're going to probably have ink that they'll be able to remove easy. You know, maybe they can remove them now, but there's side effects to that. And if you want to go through that, well, it's out there. But think hard and be wise about it. Thanks for watching. Happy trails.